So in Singapore, 1 in every 1,000 babies born have severe or profound hearing loss, and about 1 in every 200 newborns have some form of hearing loss as well. In the near future, it is expected that 1 in 11 Singaporeans will have hearing loss. So you see the people here, 1 in 11 of us might have hearing loss in the future, right? There is no better time then for the youth of today to share their ingenuity in resolving these issues. And the first thing we have coming up on stage to share with us how they would tackle this issue is none other than the team called Think Your Best. Round of applause for them.
So, good morning, judges and participants. So, basically, our team is called Think Your Best, and we're here to pitch our solutions to y'all. So, first off, the issue. So, our issue is that we're trying to help hearing impaired people with trouble hearing phone calls. And do you know that around 1 in 11 Singaporeans have hearing loss? And among hearing loss is around like 63.1 decibel, and around 69.5% have at least moderate severe hearing loss. So we're here to present to you our application idea called Hear All. So first off, this application provides 5 main features, which is phone call service, volume amplification, live speech-to-text captioning, background noise sound meter, and easy sign language accessibility. So who are our target audience? First off, our target audience are those who suffer from hearing loss and the ones who they frequently interact with. So just a disclaimer, this is our beta version. We have our main version and the updated one with implemented better UI, UX, and additional features on our booth that you can visit later. So yeah, first off, this is our login signing page using their personal informations. The users can also sign in using their LinkedIn, Google, or Facebook accounts. Yeah, and so this will be our main page, which is the speech-to-text, sign language, call, sound meter, volume amplifier, and settings. So first off is the call features, which is supported by Google Cloud, and you can retrieve your contact list by signing into your Gmail and basically hooking up onto your phone. Next is the volume amplifier. This volume amplifier can amplify the volume even beyond the maximum audio on your phone. Now, next will be the speech-to-text. We have implemented it by Google, and we have also adjusted the code in order for it to be lucrative and support various languages. And next, we have the sound meter feature, which is implemented to allow the users to find out their surrounding noise level and provides descriptions for respective decibels of the sound. So next, we have not 3, but basically now we have 4 main features. Or for the sign language dictionary. We have our alphabets, numerical, frequently used, and next we have our AI implemented sign language. So first off is the sign language. It provides beginner-friendly information from letter A to Z. Next we have sign language from 1 to 200, and frequently used sign languages by people. And to add on the AI implementation, we have trained the model using 11,476 images to allow you all to have a better accuracy of the app. And we also have our main setting page. We can adjust based on your user's perspective and preference. So we also have our About Us page here, and So what's in it for the users? It provides a multifunctional application. It solves phone call issues, and it's user and beginner friendly. So then what's in it for the partners? It helps increase traffic, free social media marketing, and more volunteers to support the movement. So our development milestone is basically we have done half of it. Now we're currently pitching the idea to the Tech for Good, and hopefully in early 2023, we could implement the idea on an iOS application. And also this is our future plans. We're also basically halfway there. And hopefully by late 2026, we could basically scale this up to other countries and stuff. So this is this is my group. We have me and two of my other teammates and 1 mentor. And these are our specialties, as you can see from there. So basically this is all for our application. Thank you for your time. Yeah.
Thank you, team. Think your best. Now, before you go off, just a quick question, right? So, if the audience here, who are physically here, not those in FB Live, what can they expect when they come over to your booth?
Well, you can expect more physical and more beautiful UI interface of the app. I will help you explain in depth on how the app works. And if you're more of a developer or so, I can help you explain more in depth. And yeah, you get first-hand explanation from me, and then I'm sure you'll understand better from there. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, team. Think your best. Thank you very much. All right, next in line. So this next team, when I saw their team name, I was thinking really are youth, because doesn't sound very youthful, but I got excited when I heard it. So I'm going to bring them on board next. Their team name is Team Discotech. Woo!
Okay, so a very good morning to everyone who has taken time off your day to attend this event. I am Data,
I'm Zai.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Karen.
and for our contribution to this year's Tech for Good festival, we will be tackling the Audible phone calls problem statement. So for most businesses, right, they still operate via phone calls for immediate resolutions. For example, we will get a call from a restaurant, or we may get calls from banks. And while it may be a day-to-day call for everyone, these individuals, the hard of hearing individuals, are facing a problem deciphering and understanding phone calls. As such, we have decided to tackle this issue of miscommunication posed by audible phone calls that the hard of hearing community is facing. Right now, there are about 466 million hard of hearing individuals around the world. That makes up about 6.1% of our population. The D-Deaf community in Singapore faces a unique set of problems on their own. This is due to the audio-based medium of communication as well as the Singaporean context of conversation. For example, the usage of dialects and Singlish. Therefore, it is very critical that as technology advances, it aligns with the needs of this group as well. This would be the timeline that we have followed all the way from May till October. So how can we use technology to reduce misunderstandings for the deaf community in phone conversations? To streamline our prototype development, we identified 3 key issues to tackle. Firstly, communication for the hard of hearing individuals mostly occur through visual means and minimally through the auditory means. Visual cues are almost impossible during audio calls, and these individuals face a great difficulty when communicating in crowded areas, and especially when MRTs are moving behind you. Secondly, quality tends to fluctuate with signal strength, making calls really hard to understand. While phone calls achieve faster transmission, background noise is amplified, compromising audio quality. And last but not the least, as mentioned previously, we fear that due to the heavy Singlish use in Singapore, Singaporean culture may be lost due to their non-localized existing technology. And this is where our prototype comes in.
Introducing Ludwig. Ludwig is aptly named after the well-known musician Beethoven Ludwig, who is known for his hard of hearing status. So in our case, Ludwig is a mobile web application that combines an automated equalizer, adjustment system, and a captioning system to make audible phone calls more accessible for the hard of hearing and the deaf community. So what our team has thought about beforehand was that we believe that complicated web application design is a barrier to accessibility. As such, while designing a website, we took into account some design principles to factor in user-friendliness, usability, and readability. So for example, rather than making our prototype application to download on your phone, it's more accessibly made as a web application that you can access just by searching up on your Safari or your Google. Furthermore, our web application design, as you can see on the screen here, has contrasting colors and standardized fonts to make it more user-friendly for your eyes and more aesthetically pleasing. Furthermore, we have considered a hierarchy of information whereby we have headings bolded and standardized fonts, whereby maybe, for example, you would see the title of something as a more contrasted color in bold before the main bulk of the information. Furthermore, we have our prototype bootstrap for both mobile use and laptop use for Skype. to make it more accessible and responsive for mobiles and laptops. Now, furthermore, next slide please. Regarding verbal speech recognition by the deaf user, our team recognizes existing solutions via inbuilt accessibility, EQ, and background noise cancellation. Solutions like the iOS equalization system, for example, tend to lack dynamicity due to their general intended use. As such, Ludwig's equalizer adjustment system allows the users to increase the volume of consonant frequencies, the frequency at which verbally spoken consonants operate, adjusted based on the comfort level of the user. To establish phone call specificity, we'll manipulate the volume of consonant frequencies. Research has shown information recognition is improved when the consonant frequencies are amplified. Yet, due to the compression that occurs for telephony audio, the frequency range of each call fluctuates with varying audio bands.
Secondly, Ludwig tackles the lack of visual aids through captioning and speech to text. Team Discotech recognizes that generally, captioning apps are created and tested outside of Singapore, and as a result, do not function as well as intended when used locally. They are often unable to decipher Singlish and dialect phrases, which are often spoken amongst Singaporeans. As a result, it is more difficult for deaf individuals to communicate effectively within the country. We at Team Discotech also recognize the importance of non-verbal modes in the deaf community and have implemented a text-to-speech function that enables deaf users to type inputs into their phone to communicate to the caller on the other end of the line. We are working on implementing built-in broader vocabulary libraries that include Singlish to localize our speech-to-text system. Captions also benefit those who find it easier to read than to listen while reinforcing the clarity and accuracy of the calls, especially in noisier environments.
Thank you very much for listening in, and we hope that our solution has greatly captured your attention. Please vote for us via the QR code placed at our station over there at the Audible phone calls station. Thank you so much for your time and
Thank
attention.
you so much.
Right. Hello. Well done. Okay. All right. Next in line, we have a team from Sengkang Secondary School. I wanted to share something that I saw, very cute. The team over there, if you look to your right, they were showing all the love, heart shape, all the way this way, about a good 20 meters away. Loving the abundance. All right, they're doing it now. Great. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the next team on stage from Sengkang Secondary School, Team Earth. Let's give a round of applause.
Does this work? Okay. Yeah. Hello, I am Aksha and this is Wei En. And we are from Sengkang Secondary School. Today we'll be presenting our project for audible phone calls. So the question is, how can we improve the experience of phone calls for people with hearing impairment? But first, you need to know their struggles with phone calls.
People with hearing loss may not be able to understand phone conversation accurately due to their problem of hearing. However, most businesses still operate through phone calls for immediate resolutions. So how can we use technology to help solve this problem?
So this is our solution. Can you show? Yeah. Oh. This product makes the volume of the caller's voice louder and can be adjusted too. It is attached to the handset of phones with landlines. Yeah.
This is how it works. Firstly, the user picks up the phone and adjusts the volume control knob at the handset. Then the amplifier circuit increases the amplitude of the signal that the user hears from the speaker of the phone. Lastly, the user hears a louder signal at the speaker of the handset.
As I said, people with hearing problems can adjust the caller's voice in a volume that is suitable for them. This allows them to hear clearly, and it will make it possible for them to have phone calls with ease.
People with hearing problem will hear phones more clearly, as the volume of the speaker can be increased by many times.
This product is also easily made using amplifier circuit that can be acquired cheaply online. Please come and visit our booth for our hard work and please vote for us.
Thank you, Team Earth. Wow, I think it really takes, well done, well done. I think it really takes a lot of courage to come on board and really share what they have created over the past few months to share in such a big crowd. So thank you very much, Team Earth. Now, before I bring on the next team on stage, this goes out to all our friends who are either at Hanis or walking around into the library. Feel free to come on down, to join us here, sit down to listen to us, to listen to the presentations in front, or also visit the different booths, either from the social enterprises or the assistive tech communities, as well as the different teams who have their own prototypes to play with. Right, so just a quick shout out to you if you'd like to come down and play with what we have here available. Okay, now next on board, we have the next team from Audible Phone Calls. From Singapore Polytechnic, we have the team called Elliot with a T. Let's give them a big round of applause. So fun. Yeah, Elliot with a T, whatever.
Hi, good morning everyone. So we are Team Elliot with a T doing Audible phone calls. So today we're going to show you how what our solution is, how it works, and give you an introduction to this. Alright, so next slide. So do you know that about 10% of the population are hearing impaired? And most of these are sensory neural damage, which is nerve deafness, which is the most common form of hearing loss. And hearing instruments can actually improve hearing difficulty for approximately 95% of those who are hearing impaired. So when we are talking to our community partners, we have found that the problem is that they are relying a lot on lip reading, and that individuals with hearing loss find lip reading very helpful to better understand what is being said. So during meetings and during the COVID pandemic, with people with masks on, it's very hard for them to lip read and understand what is being said. So you can scan the QR code for a prototype demo. It will just show you like a video of how it works. So I'll give you about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, next. Right. So you guys can actually come down to our booth to see a real live demo in more detail after this presentation. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright. So I'll pass the time to Caleb, which will tell you how the solution will work.
So, oh my god, okay. So our solution is actually relatively simple. So we'll just take the audio from the phone calls, the audio as the input from the phone calls, we'll route it to an AI pre-trained model by NVIDIA, and we're using that audio as input. We're able to generate captions, text transcriptions like you see, and also, as I said, the imaginary face of like the lip generation of like the movement. So people with hearing impairment on video phone calls can actually look at the display of like a generated face with appropriate mouth movements to be able to better understand what's being said. Yeah. So we have like 2 interfaces, the captioning and then the face generated, like what you see in the video demonstration. Yeah. So it can be used in meetings and also in classrooms or even like your phone calls. Yeah. So basically, future add-ons will include like background noise, integration with like your hearing aids and your phone screen, and also like a portable mic if let's say your phone, the audio isn't strong enough. Yeah. So.
And for how it will help, you obviously increase speech comprehension. And you understand that when these hearing impaired people go for meetings or go for phone calls, they will actually have more conversational anxiety, right? So our solution will actually help decrease this anxiety and let them be more relaxed when talking on the phone. And of course, it will decrease the reliance on caregiver and the stress placed on them because they have to take care of these audio impaired people. Thank you so much for listening. And you can come to our booth later on there to see a live demo. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Team Elliot with a T. So who's Elliot?
This guy is Elliot.
Oh, hello, Elliot. I guess you guys are with and a T lah. Okay, Ken. Now we're going to go into the last team, right? The final team that will be sharing about the problem statement of Audible phone calls. And the final team that will be sharing is from NUS High School of Math and Science. Put your hands together for our final team for this problem statement, Team Star Delta.
Testing. Okay. So you saved the best for last, I guess. Okay, so hello, we're Star Delta. We're a team of 5 students from NUS High School. This is Jed, this is Vishal, that's Kabir, Zayan, and I'm Pranay. And we'll be presenting on our project today. Yeah, so essentially we'll be going through our introduction to the problem and what analysis we did on the problem. Then we'll be covering our graphical user interface. And after that, we'll cover the AI models we've used, and we'll give you an example of our final product. So we'll start with Vishal talking about the motivation and analysis.
So in Singapore, we have a lot of people with difficulties with hearing. And because of that, this may pose many difficulties in their personal lives or careers, like when they receive calls from their family members, friends, their clients, or from healthcare professionals. Not being able to hear the audio from their phone calls can be a detriment to their daily lives and cause a lot of frustrations and could possibly be endangering their lives. So we wanted to change that with our application.
Okay, so now I'll go through the graphical user interface. In the next slide. Yeah, so basically our solution consists of like an Android app to address this issue. So as you can see here, this is the GUI for the app. Like at the top, we have a call bar, which will show the time elapsed in the call, as well as like provide an option for you to end the call. At the bottom, below that, there is a field which will show all of the text. Basically, we make use of a text-to-speech, a speech-to-text AI, in order to translate the speech recorded by the user's microphone to the text that will be displayed there. And below that, we also have deepfake lip sync, which makes use of AI to convert the text into a video of the lips moving. So this will make it easier for hearing impaired people. And finally, we also have a settings option where you can change whether you want to make use of the speech to text and the lip sync options.
So now I'll be talking about the AI solution that we've implemented. We use novel AI techniques, such as GANs, to take in the textual input, which was taken from the text-to-speech. For example here, before Thursday's exam, review every formula. We then use our AI model to convert this text into a sample mouth movement. This is so that the deaf people, the people with hearing loss, will be able to read the lips and be able to better understand what's being said. So here's the demo.
Before Thursday's exam, review every formula.
Yes. Now we'll move on to the final product.
So for the final product of our app, it works like this. So to account for the smaller scale of the project, we have to deploy our AI on a server. This is because generally AI models are quite large in size. So we can't put them on the app. And also it will cause a huge slowdown if we're running our huge AI model on an Android phone. So basically, we have a server running on a laptop, and then we connect to that server with the phone, and then that sends data back to the phone. So it takes in the audio data that we send from the microphone, and it returns the video data and the speech-to-text data. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm back. Let's cover the exact final architecture that we've used for our application. So essentially how it works is you have a landline which transmits audio. So the reason why we're using landlines is because it's a specific technology that hasn't been fully integrated to hearing aids and different technologies. Even though there are transmitters that are available, we need to account for the fact that landlines are still a major issue for some people because, of course, you can't see anyone's face with that, and it's also not necessarily going to connect you via Bluetooth. So what we do is you essentially keep the phone close to the landline. And of course, that phone loads the mobile app. You start the call. And after that, you can just transmit this audio stream to the actual Java server. And this Java server is the place where we actually run all the AI models. So this is where we run the speech-to-text model, which is essentially converting whatever the audio stream is saying to the text, for example, before does this exam, review every formula. And after that, it also transmits the generated video via API link requests. And those requests essentially allow us to make it more real-time Although, of course, one concern is always that since it's AI, there's going to be some latency, and we have accounted for that, but there are some specific issues that we have faced with it. So that's why it's not completed completely, but as for a prototype, it works pretty well. So future work would involve porting over to stuff like AWS and Google Cloud. So anyways, thank you so much for listening to us. Yep. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Team Star Delta. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, so I just now you all came in and you guys said, oh, save the best for last. Time to test you a bit. I think just to share with the rest of the audience here, as well as those at home watching from FB Live, just one of you, could you guys share what would be the most, what's been the most rewarding part of this journey together with Tech for Good?
Honestly, it's communicating with the community partners. We've had the pleasure to communicate with our two community partners, Brenda and Winston. Winston's right there. And we've actually had a lot of fun talking to them, understanding what their own perspectives are, and it has also widened our own perspectives on how people in this category live, because we don't really necessarily communicate with them as much in our school, but having the opportunity to communicate with them here is a rewarding experience that we feel that we've definitely benefited from. Yeah.
Solid lah. Can I get everyone to give them a round of applause? A very, very good response. Thank you very much. I can step off stage now. So I don't need it. Thank you very much. Yeah, and that was the final team that will be sharing for Audible phone calls.